So, what is integrative therapy or integrative, depending on how you want to pronounce it? Because oftentimes I just don't say that I'm an integrative counselor and psychotherapist because the integrative really throws people off. So, in this video, I'm going to break down what integrative counseling or psychotherapy is. So, integrative basically is coming from the word integrate, what is about combining something and combining it with something else to make something new. So when it comes to counseling or therapy, it essentially just means combining a different type of therapy with another different type of therapy to support a client in the most effective way. So instead of sticking to one specific model of therapy like CBT or psychodynamic or Gestalt or something like that, you essentially will combine different therapeutic approaches and draw from each of those therapeutic approaches in order to help your client in the best way possible. So you can combine two approaches, you can combine three. I don't think it's wise to combine more than three. I think four or five is just pushing it. But I think for the most part, integration of therapeutic approaches usually involves just two or three. How do you become an integrative counselor or psychotherapist? Essentially, this begins with your training. So, when you're choosing what university you want to go to or what degree you want to do, have a look at the module overview and what the teaching style is going to be like, because in that you'll find out whether it's integrative, whether they focus on one modality. So for me personally, I chose the course I chose because it was integrative. So one of the most popular combinations and the one that I was trained in is CBT, which is short for cognitive behavioral therapy, humanistic therapy, and psychodynamic therapy. So those are probably some of the three most common ones, but it doesn't mean that every course that you see that says integrative is integrating those three modalities. It could be any approach. So be sure to check and be sure that these are the ones that you're interested in or that you're open to learning about or that you would like to know more about. So once you've trained in those three things, by the time you finish and you've done your training in those things, then you are by profession and by title an integrative counselor or psychotherapist based on whichever integrative approaches you were trained in and whichever ones you learned. So, like I said before, it doesn't have to be this combination, it could be other things. So, another common one that I've kind of come across a lot more recently is Gestalt therapy is very popular these days. Existential therapy is also a lot more popular now. So, you could find an integrative course that teaches the existential approach. And there's also transactional analysis, which is also quite popular now. So, obviously, there's pros and cons to this, but I think the more that psychology is growing, counseling and psychotherapy field is growing, we understand that it's better to treat somebody depending on their needs rather than forcing them into a specific box. If you want to focus on CBT, you can go and train more in CBT, but you don't have to start from scratch. Instead of doing three different courses, one on CBT, one on humanistic, one on psychodynamic, one on gestalt therapy, one on positive psychology, or one on acceptance and commitment therapy, if you do an integrative course, you kind of kill three birds with one stone or two birds with one stone rather than having to do a separate course for each individual approach. By doing integrative, you can be taught a variety, and then if you want to focus on one or two of them, you can specialize and focus on one or two of them if you really want to. It's up to you, unless you know that your passion is specifically one mode of therapy. I would probably recommend you do integrative. It just gives you a lot more flexibility and allows you to give your clients more than just one approach. So I really hope that helps. However, if you would like to know a little bit more about some of the other modalities, I do have some videos talking about other modalities. So if you want to know a bit more about that, you can watch those videos next. Until the next video, have a good night or a good day wherever you're watching from. Bye.